It's not because of the jungle that my office has become a centennial thanks to Josette's redecorating. It's not the penitentiary gates at Stockdale that require a person to be a contortionist to unlock them. Okay? It's not all the newfangled technology that makes me look archaic for dictating my reports rather than using a laptop. It's not even those horrible, gigantic rolls of toilet paper in the school bathrooms that are too heavy, so heavy that you can't even make it work. I'm confused. I thought I would retire along with Phyllis and Jeanette and Celie at Stockdale, but they decided that more money was more important than retirement. That's not a problem. I am retiring for a combination of reasons, such as one reason is one thing that I heard the other day on the radio, that I find out I'm suffering from thinning hair. Also, I've caught myself watching Wheel of Fortune more lately, and I found that my preferences for breakfast cereal are the same ones as my mother has. So, and I've chosen to retire because, as somebody said, get out while the getting is good. 61 is meant to have fun. I'm 61, right? 62 should be fun too, and 63 should be fun for me, and 64 is even more, and so on and so forth. So over the years, I've worked at a number of places, different schools. I started working at a combination of Foothill and EB and South. But then in 1991, I went with John Ferguson from Shafter to open Stockdale. Been there ever since. In 1993, I went with Bill Romley to open Centennial, and I've been there ever since. So those schools are no longer new schools. The gum spots on the pavement are testimony to that. In fact, the first graduates of Stockdale probably have already had their 10th reunion by now. Some have asked what I will do after retirement. I'm taking my mom on an Alaskan cruise in July for her 85th birthday. In October, we're flying to Mazatlan and then going with Emily and Sherrod to Los Mochis, where we're going to catch the train through the Copper Canyon. Early next year, we're probably taking Carol's mom to Hawaii, where she's never been. In between times, you'll see me from time to time as I do my post-retirement project. I won't be completely gone for quite a while. Then I plan to become a restaurant critic. You know that companies pay people reimbursement for going to restaurants and writing them up? Yeah, that's what they do. I want to thank, on a more serious note, I want to thank all the people that I've worked with who've made my time both pleasant and gratifying over the years. Colleagues, bosses, secretaries, teachers, and assistants have been congenial and supportive. I will miss working with such good people. I don't know how much I will be missed, but I think that some people will miss the sweet treats that I bring. 2 or 3 years ago, I decided to bring inexpensive sweet treats to my schools and to the office to share on a regular basis. This has allowed me to practice my hobby of finding things at my secret sources, like Big Lots Grocery Outlet and 99 cents home. Of course, the person I owe the greatest debt of gratitude to is Carol, my wife. She has always been completely supportive through the years, listening with the caring and understanding ear to my concerns, frustration, and my manic episodes. And I also want to thank and recognize my mother, who's here with me today. I'd like to thank the previously retired friends who've come today. It seems that the only time people get together again is for retirements and funerals, so I'm glad this is my retirement instead of my funeral. At times in the past, I have written poems for special occasions. My first one was a limerick that I wrote as an assignment for an English class in the 9th grade. I wrote it about the teacher and was suspended from school.
Sonny, tell him the limerick.
You sure you want it?
Yeah.
If I can remember it, the teacher's name was Mrs. Gale. It was an English class. She was a very good teacher, actually. I learned a lot in the class, but I consider her to be a little ruthless. So, there was an old lady named Gale who was so excessively pale that the absence of pink made her look like a fink, except for something about her tail.
He was suspended for 3 days.
A fink used to be a term like a dork back in those days. Anyway, here's my limerick that I've written for today's occasion. Now that it's time to retire, I'll do anything I desire. And not, if you please, attend IEPs. Another would make me expire.